They gave up pet Band-Aids to the alumni. They wanted you to take a picture of your pet with their Band-Aid. Yeah.
All right, everybody, I have 5:30, so we have allotted from 5:30 to 6 p.m. For input from the citizens about our county budget. Anyone that would like to come before the county commission and speak to us, allow 3 minutes per person, and I ask that you direct all of your comments to the commission and not to the audience. So anybody that would like to come speak to us, come up. Come right up. Please state your name and your address, please, or your road you live on.
Good evening. My name is Jake Long. I work with EMS. I live on Simpson Road. Appreciate the opportunity to address you this evening. I'm not going to speak tonight about the number of lives that we touch every day. I'm not going to talk to you about the ones that we tragically lose because of lack of resources. What I will speak to is this. I've sat here, attended these budget meetings, and listened quietly as the committee has downplayed the importance of our profession. Plain and simple. I've heard strong words in support of emergency services, only to see those same voices go silent when it comes time to vote. More troubling, I've watched this committee disregard the thoughtful, data-driven recommendations submitted by our emergency service department heads, those who know exactly what it takes to keep this county safe. If you pass the budget as currently proposed, you will be doing the same. You will be ignoring the expert guidance of Director Kerr and Sheriff Page, whose funding requests were not arbitrary. They are practical, necessary, rooted in the needs of the citizens we all serve. Not to mention that EMS typically recovers its own budget through billing service. Let your department heads do their jobs. Your family's life could one day depend on it. While we appreciate the proposed pay increase, it simply isn't enough to recruit or retain the caliber of professionals White County needs. As you propose the longevity pay, it's not only insufficient, it's insulting. A $50 net after-tax increase per year of service for a full-time employee. That's abysmal. You guys can keep mine. I'll gladly let you have it. We can all do the math. We're not fools. Don't treat us like it. I also want to address the EMA director position. I agree this role is important, but transparency is absolutely critical. Be honest with your constituents about what this position really accomplishes. Yes, the grants it pursues can be of great benefit to the fire departments, but most of those are for items that the county would never be funding to begin with. Okay? These are not cost savings grants. Let's call it what it is. This position creates a salaried role for the current director that ultimately costs taxpayers more money. If you support it, explain it honestly. Quit hiding the facts. The community is not fools. In closing, thank you very much for your service. You've got a very difficult job. But tonight I urge you to do the right thing. Fully fund the proposals brought forth to you by those who understand public safety best. The people of White County deserve protection. They deserve a timely response to emergencies. They deserve the truth, regardless of the politics that happen behind closed doors. Anything less, and you consider yourselves personally liable for the lives that you're putting at risk. Thank you.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to come speak to us?
Hey guys, Crystal Templeton, West Camp Road. First of all, I want to say thank you to the commissioners that are listening and trying to do what needs to be done. I think that we would all agree that we support our law enforcement and EMS, and we believe that they need to be given the raises. It's just how are we going to do it? The taxes are obviously going to have to go up some, but there is so much distrust in the current administration, not just from the public, but also from the commissioners. It's pretty obvious when you come in here and watch how you guys even interact with each other. I believe that the distrust comes from the lack of transparency. It comes from being told one thing but yet doing another. It comes from the math not making sense when it should be simple math. There are a lot of areas in the budget where 1 + 1 are not equaling 2. For example, last meeting, when asked about how much the longevity was, $173,705.35 was the number that came out. When you look at your original paperwork that you were handed in the beginning of this, the number was $186,888, and that was before you added 3 years of longevity to it. I only have 3 minutes because I have many other discrepancies. Just because something isn't illegal does not make it ethically or moral. For example, having family and friends employed in an office and creating jobs, not opening them up to the public for the most qualified person. Is it illegal? No. Is it unethical? Is it immoral? The luxury that most families have when planning a budget is that they know what they're going to bring in. I've heard that multiple times from this body of government, that we don't know exactly what the new bills are going to bring in. I disagree with you. It can be estimated at a fairly close rate when all you have to do is go to the codes department, find out how many letters of occupancy that they gave and where that property is located. Then walk over to the tax assessor's office and pull the taxes. You can base it off of the 121 certified rate. I know for a fact 2 rather large farms that have been split up, so they're no longer paying agriculture taxes. They're paying a normal tax rate, and there's 10 houses per each one of those. I know another large farm that all 6 of the smaller farms are paying agriculture, but that's 5 structures on those, so their taxes are coming in. That's just 3 examples in this county, and I'm sure there's hundreds. I would also employ that most families don't know what they're going to be making either, as most people cannot budget for unseen problems in this day and age, and it's laughable for most of our government and blue-collar workers in this county to have an emergency fund when they're barely paying their bills. Moreover, I do understand setting the budget numbers a little high so that we are not truly in a deficit or in a negative at the end of the year. However, the 24-25 budget year, the deficit was almost $500,000 from what I understand, and yet we've already purchased almost $500,000 of equipment from the 25-26. That's almost 10 pennies. I've had many conversations with you all over the past weeks. I believe I've put in just as many hours as you have over this budget. Several people have offered you solution after solution after solution, yet you guys, for whatever reason, continue to be bullied by a minority. Give the raises that these guys deserve, but trim the fat. You don't have to raise taxes by 23 cents to do that. Just like with the family budgets right now, you have to give up the wants in order to provide the needs. EMS and deputies for your constituents is what they need. I've looked at the Sheriff's Department numbers, and they are on target to be 3,000 calls over what they were last year with less people, and they will have even less if you don't hire more and give them their raises. And I would say EMS is the same. Thank you.
All right, I am no tax crony, in case anybody needs to know. And I feel like there's ways of people living within their means. I have found some things that's not adding up, like the math don't math. And I firmly believe we don't need to pass this budget until we get everything straight. I'm back again. I got some more questions. I heard Denny Wayne on the radio the other day about the $50,000 for the Parks and Rec. Is that on top of the other grant, or is that going to be all we're getting?
I don't know whether on top of what other grant.
We're supposed to get a grant from,
is the
that we was going to
grant.
have to pay $100,000 in 3 years. Is that something different?
That's not.
No, that's it?
That's the
So
same.
all we're getting is $50,000? Okay. What was the other one? I said on that question. Oh, are we paying for Hunter to go to school, or is he still up there in the office? I was told there's 2 in that office up there.
I hadn't checked on Hunter this week, I'll be honest with you, I don't know what.
Are we paying for his schooling?
Yeah, he's supposed to be training, yes.
So we got 2 sitting in the office up there in the secretary's office, and he's going to school or studying. He should be on the road with Brett, don't you think?
I'll let the department heads handle their people.
Fix it, Jim.
Danielle is Cooper Street. Longevity pay, when you issue a longevity pay, are you also having to, out of that, are you also getting retirement? Do you also have an expense for retirement, medical insurance out of that longevity pay? Just, I mean, I may not be making myself clear.
All that's calculated into that total amount, correct?
It would
Mr.
be.
Markham?
It's not in excess of the $100 you're giving a year, or 50 or whatever it is. In other words, you're taking it out of that longevity pay.
The total budgeted amount that was on the line item, the 107, whatever that number was the, including that, Mr. Markham, you,
I mean, obviously my math doesn't math, but I can tell you that it is on top of the $100 that's done.
Okay, on top, so the county is paying that in addition to the longevity pay, is that what you're saying? So actually, the longevity pay is costing the county a lot more than what the line item says.
Well, it's included in the budget, so it's a Social Security, Medicare.
I know it, but on those budgeted line items, it's actually costing the county more to give that longevity pay than just that one line item.
It's just like the salary.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, so longevity pay is actually more than what's,
Just like
you
the
can't
salary.
total up longevity pay for all of them and say this is what it's costing, because it's actually costing more than that. Because you're increasing your retirements and stuff.
in the line item showing the 150,000 or 70,000, whatever the line was, that includes the Social Security, the information that she's asking about,
It's broken out into detail, just like salary is. So
Yeah,
somebody's
but
salary
what I'm saying is that, and I may be misunderstanding you once again,
Bless you.
if you give me $100 longevity pay, am I going to bring
You're
home
getting
that $100
You're getting $100 gross.
gross? Okay, that's what I was asking, yeah, okay, all right, okay, thank you.
Isn't that right? Someone's picking up the top. I'll wait and see. I know what I'll wait and see. Let's see what it brings. I'm gonna see my constituents and they will.
We've had a few people walk in since we've started. I'll just go over it again. From 5:30 to 6 o'clock, we're open for public comment from anybody that would like to come and speak and address the county commission specifically about the budget. That's what this time frame's for. If any of the people that just walked in would like to come and speak to us, or anybody else, we still have about 12 more minutes. So we have time for 3 or 4 more people if they would like to come speak. Or if anybody that spoke would like to come speak again, we,
Go ahead. She got, she going.
My name's Gary Templeton, live on Webs Camp Road. Just quick background on me, I've been in law enforcement for over 40 years, retired. I've worked with departments all over the country and still do. I don't know the gentleman from EMS, but I have to agree with him for 1,000%. You need to take care of your emergency services. I can tell you we have a sheriff's department that you should be proud of, and you're running them to death. You're literally running them to death. They need help. They can't even take off. They can't take vacation because they're short-handed. It's a shame. A lot of those guys are staying because of their dedication to the sheriff, and that says a lot for him. They're staying because of their loyalty to him. Y'all need to take care of your emergency services. I am a taxpayer, and I have no problem with my taxes going up to pay for essentials. But I have to agree with the gentleman from EMS. I've worked with emergency management. Y'all are not being transparent about what his job is. Absolutely. And I've worked with them all over the state. You need to take care of your emergency services because they could be taking care of you one day. That's it.
thank you.
I think most of you know who I am, but I'm speaking not as Commissioner Golden, I'm speaking as taxpayer Golden, as for my constituents that have spoken to me as well. So, This budget is a slap in the face to these guys. You know, great, $4,000 will be, but you're also giving $4,000 to people who are sitting in an office, in an air-conditioned office all day doing paperwork. So, to me, that's not fair. It should be essentials, boots on the ground, they should be getting, you know, they should be getting a huge raise versus maybe somebody who needs less of a raise because they're not doing an essential job. Second, have you thought about all these EMS that are leaving? What are you gonna do? Well, you've got guys sitting out here and gals sitting out here that are going to step up and they're gonna work overtime. Overtime's gonna eat into all that budget and that money as well. You've got EMA that you want in here so bad. I don't understand why, but to get that EMA, you've took away deputies and you've took away ambulance. I have an issue with that because we already have ambulances that have been remounted multiple times. We are waiting on new ambulance. If me or my family member is in an ambulance and it's got all these miles and all these hours on it, and you're transporting them somewhere, booking 80, 90 miles an hour to try to get them there because there's no flight because of rain or live flight because of whatever, I want that ambulance to be safe. I don't want it to be a rusted out, you know, we've patched together. And these central maintenance guys, God bless them. I mean, they are doing a fabulous job keeping everything that we have running. Also, the Parks and Rec. We've got a huge budget or amount in there that's put away specifically for Parks and Rec because we've been doing 2 pennies all these years. I have no issue bringing that down to a penny and putting that penny somewhere that it's needed. I'm not saying it's not needed there. But if you've got all this money in there and you're not spending but this amount each year, I don't see that there would be an issue with that. Also, we've got to leave this better than we found it. We've got to leave this county and this budget better than we found it. Now, I don't know how to do that. I'm kind of agreeing with them. There's some numbers that don't jive. And, you know, Chad just said his math isn't math, and that's understandable. He's only human. But when you can put on here that you have an EMT advanced and a paramedic is only making $2 to $3 less than a critical care paramedic, which we need desperately, why would you want to go and be a critical care paramedic? Why would I want to go to school and do that if I'm just going to get $2 or $3 more? So we need to do better as far as compensation. We need to do better as far as budgeting. We need to do better as far as salaries. And I know you guys have even threw out there the whole, we need to stay competitive with this county or this county. We're not this county or that county. We're White County. You got to do what you got to do with the money you have. Don't waste it.
Joanne Green, Lester Flat Road. I think you people need to be reminded who you work for. You're working for us. And we're telling you, and everybody that's come up here has offered suggestions, finding mistakes. I just got this, and already I've marked it up immensely. I mean, there's things in here, it's like, I can't understand why you're spending money on. I mean, what is all this stuff that's in here? You've got money for dues and memberships. Dues and memberships to what? Every single department has dues and memberships. Some of them, let's see. Some of it $500, $3,000, $4,000, $4,500. What kind of dues and memberships does the general government need? And I noticed that everybody got their $4,000 raise, even people who really could have waited until next year when the waste money, the landfill money comes in. You could give them their raises then, and use that money for the EMS and for our officers. That's my opinion.
Thank you. I have 5:57. We have time for one more speaker. If someone else would like to come speak to us before we start our meeting. All right, I have 6 o'clock. Call the meeting to order. All right. We have Sheriff Page. Would you please come up and lead us in prayer, or stand up and lead us in prayer?
Gracious and kind Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the Lord. Pray, Lord, that you lead us and guide us in the right direction, dear Father. Watch over White County, dear Father. We need your blessings. Lord, forgive us when we sin, when we fail so many times. Thank you, dear Lord, so much for your mercy. In Christ's name we pray.
Amen.
All right, let's do the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Lanny Selby, Chris Brington.
Here.
Kane Rogers.
Here.
Derek Hutchings.
Here.
TK Austin.
Here.
Dakota White. David Cranford.
Here.
Larry Daniels.
Here.
Kyle Goff.
Here.
Becky Golden. Here. Robert McCormick.
Here.
Roger Mason.
Here.
Jordan Cope. Thomas Markison.
Here.
I have 11 present, 3 absent.
All right, we do have a quorum. Number 5, approval of spread of minutes from the consent calendar. We all received that. It's a very lengthy consent calendar.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Number 6, we had a budget educational presentation from county executive, and he was out of town this weekend, and we've decided to hold that off to the next budget meeting that we have. So we'll move on to number 7, resolution from the budget committee. So this is the tax levy, so there's 3 parts to this. The first part would be Resolution 83-07-2025, which would be the tax levy, which would be the proposal of $1.45. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion.
Have a motion. Do I have a second? Second. Motion, a second. And I will start the discussion on this with Executive Robinson. He's come up with some brand new data that's come up that he would like to share with us.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It seems like there's a lot of negativity kind of in the room, but I tell you, I've had a great day. I was at Fort Knox this morning picking up my son from graduation from ROT Cadet Advanced Summer Training. I get to keep him for about a week before he goes off to his next station, so there's not much that can happen to get me down tonight. That being said, over the past week, as the state and county, everybody closes out their budget, we saw a little bit of a higher revenue in sales tax than we anticipated. Mr. Barkum, raised the tax rate, or the sales tax anticipated revenue by $500,000 in anticipation of, we looked like it was trending that way. It ended up being about $800,000. So
In what fund?
in the local option sales tax for the school system. So that being said, there's an extra almost $300,000 there that we can adjust that property tax levy by another 3 cents down if the commission so desires to 142. If they decide to do that, that would be an amendment that we would need to make in the appropriations part, and I can share those numbers if that was to pass. But we can go from the proposed $1.45 that we're at with this budget to 142, leaving all appropriations the same, just have to adjust some revenue lines.
Okay, thank you.
I make a motion to amend.
Well, do we have any other discussion from anybody else before we do that?
So this is just a last minute fleeting bag?
Those numbers came in this week and were calculated, actually finished getting them calculated today after lunch.
I make a motion to
amend the motion to read $1.42 instead of $1.45.
Okay. I have a motion, do I have a second on that?
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Was any discussion on the $1.42?
Just for the record, that would be still 107 to the county general, 2 cents to the highway fund, and reducing the general purpose school fund from 36 to 33.
36 to 33.
If I understand that correctly, we're assuming, or based on what the information that you got, that 3 cents will be recouped through sales tax. So it's basically sales tax versus property tax.
Correct. We're assuming that the revenue would be equal next year.
So it's not just equal to this year.
It'd be equal to this year's, correct. Within about like $8,000, but to make the pennies even, it was 3 cents.
So everything still stays in there as far as the Parks and Recs, EMA, and all that right there. So none of that's even talked about or nothing to take out or anything.
Commissioner Brunton, I asked for comments and other, I mean, you're welcome to make amendments.
Oh, no. I'm good.
You can't make an amendment right now because we have this
No, I'm
one, but
good.
if you would like to make an amendment, we're happy to entertain.
Vote on it. I'm good. But it seems like every meeting, there's always something. Vote on it.
Roll call vote?
We're voting on the amendment.
We'll be voting on the amendment. We're voting on the amendment.
Yes.
Derek Hutchings.
Yes.
David Cranford.
Yes.
Thomas Markison.
No.
Kane Rogers.
Amendment only, we're voting just to lower. Yes.
Larry Daniels.
Yes.
Robert McCormick.
Yes.
Roger Mason.
Yes.
Kyle Goff.
Yes.
TK Austin.
Yes.
Becky Golden.
No.
Chris Brington.
No.
Would anyone like to change their vote? I have 8 yes, 3 no, 3 absent.
Okay, so motion carries. Now, we're going to be voting on the motion as amended. Need a roll call, or is there any discussion before we vote?
Discussion as far as what's in
What-
the budget or the budget itself or?
So
This is the tax levy, Mr.
this is
Chairman.
the tax levy for $1.42, which would, if there's additional amendments that would like to be made, then we can entertain additional amendments at this time if there were to be any to be voted on.
I'd like to make an amendment for the, on the 2 pennies for Parks and Rec to be reduced to a penny.
So Commissioner Golden,
Can
that
I
was,
do that here or was
that's passed by a resolution.
Okay.
And it
I just
would
need
have
to
to be an
vote
amendment
for
to the resolution, and then it would take a 2/3 majority vote to do that.
Okay.
There was a resolution that was passed
Right,
several years ago to put 2 pennies
I
into the
understand.
Parks and Rec fund. In order to stop it, you'd have to overturn that
Right.
resolution.
Okay.
You can make a motion to do that after we get done.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
We can't vote on the 142, can we separate the school and the highway to get their?
Well, we're voting on $1.42
We're
right
voting
now.
on $1.42.
It's just the tax levy at this point.
Just the tax levy at this point. Okay, roll call vote.
Larry Daniels.
Yes.
Kane Rogers.
No.
Chris Brington,
No.
Robert McCormick,
Yes.
Becky Golden,
No.
Derek Hutchings,
Yes.
Kyle Goff,
No.
Roger Mason,
Yes.
Thomas Markison,
No.
TK Austin,
Yes.
David Cranford.
Yes.
Would anyone like to change their vote? I have 6 yes, 5 no, 3 absent.
Okay, so the tax levy at $1.42 fails. So that puts us back to the original $1.45. I will open the floor for.
I'm sorry, no, it was amended, it's dead.
It was as amended, it's dead.
It's dead.
Okay, I'm sorry. So then we have B for appropriations and C for nonprofit would also die because the $1.42 was not passed.
That's correct.
Can't fund the appropriation.
You can't fund those to, so that would put it back to committee. Number 8 on the agenda is notaries.
I have Amanda Gullah, Kim Hall, Austin Hanna, Patricia Kincaid, David Miller, Brenda Petrie, Alexis Shooter, Kelly Webb, Margie Western, and Harry Wolford.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve all.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, number 9, old business. Do we have any old business to come before the commission?
I do.
Okay.
Old business, new business, doesn't matter to me at this point. When I took this job, I took it in good faith to represent not just the people of my district, but the people of my community, and I've tried to do that. But I'm a little bit sick and tired, and I'm not naming names, not pointing fingers. I'm a little sick and tired of commissioners that want to know how I'm going to vote. How I'm going to vote is how I'm going to vote in my head, my heart, and my faith. And you'll know my vote when I get here and I vote it. And that's it.
Okay.
I would like to respond to that. We sat in here in the budget committee, as on the budget committee, and it's like, we asked these commissioners for input, where you're at, what you want, and we get crickets over here. There's one or two that speak up and say, but then for the most part, we get absolutely no input whatsoever from the commissioners. I mean, we've got 4 commissioners on the budget committee. We're just 4 commissioners. We're trying to do what we think is right, but without the input of the other 10 commissioners, we may never, ever get a budget that will pass simply because you won't give the input when asked.
And to your point, the meeting that this budget that we were supposed to vote on tonight was passed out of budget committee and sent to the full commission. There was at least 8 of us here, if not 9, that night, and I left here under the impression that we were all in agreement that we were satisfied with the budget that the budget committee was sending the commission to vote. because we were here that night for that purpose. What's the point of you guys doing that work if we're not gonna, as you say, if we're not gonna provide the input and say, yes, I'll support that, or no, I won't, and then wait till we get here and kill it? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I feel like one time we show up and we've got a pretty good consensus on where we're going, and then we show up the next time and we're on a completely different page. It's hard to tell from one week to the next where folks are.
When we left last month and this was killed last month at $1.57, I asked every commissioner to submit a budget proposal to Mr. Markham. And to my knowledge, you didn't receive any, did you, Mr. Markham? We're asking for input, we're asking for help. You can't not say anything and then us send something
Oh,
up.
I say things.
Give us a budget proposal, Ms. Golden.
First off, I'm not good with numbers like that. I'm not a finance person. So, no, I'm not gonna sit down here and write numbers. I can write notes out beside here and give that to you. Be more than happy to. Second off, I didn't say anything about input. I said asking me how I vote. That's two totally different things. Thank you for telling on yourself.
I don't have a problem. I want to know who is gonna vote, who's gonna support what we've got. I mean, I think it's a legitimate question.
Commissioners, we're set with a hard deadline.
I mean,
We're at a hard August deadline
I
now.
understand that.
If we can't pass something in August, then the comptroller's gonna come in and pass.
And the thing that we haven't talked about, there's maintenance of effort items in this budget. I've heard a lot of comments tonight about, why don't you cut this, why don't you cut that, why don't we do this, why don't we do that? There's maintenance of effort things in there that we're required by law to fund. We can't just arbitrarily, you guys that sit on the budget committee and went through all that understand that. You can't just pick and choose what you do fund or what you don't fund. You can't pick and choose that you're going to give the sheriff's department a raise and we're not going to give any other county employees a raise. They're all county employees. And as we've said in these meetings over and over again, the bulk, this $1.42 tax levy that failed tonight, the biggest impact on it is payroll. It's the same in any business. Your people cost are your biggest overhead. That's our biggest cost, and that's our biggest opportunity to impact that property tax levy. So I've heard people saying we need to pay our EMS guys, we need to pay our sheriff's department guys. We can't do that without funding it.
And we tried to do that at $1.57, that got denied, so then we had to come back.
Now it's not enough.
Now it's not enough.
$1.42 is too much. I mean, that's what I'm saying, I can't figure out from one week to the next where we're at. Tonight, we seem to be in support of paying our sheriff's department, our EMS guys. That's where it seems to be the consensus is. But we're not in support of passing a budget that will do that. We can nitpick the budget, pull $1,000 here out, $1,000 there out, or $30,000 for EMA or whatever, and take another penny out of it. The executive and the finance director brought us 3 cents today that was unexpected, so we dropped it from $1.45 to $1.42, and that's not good enough either. So I'm kind of at a loss as what we want. What do we want to do? Where do we want to go?
It's out there.
What's out there, sir?
It's what it needs to do to pass the budget.
What's that, sir?
Can you not see all these areas they talked and talked for weeks and weeks and weeks?
We tried at 157.
You ain't listened to nothing they have said out of the whole conversation right here. Nothing.
I want to know what you had said, because you hadn't said a whole lot
I'm
other
just telling
than.
you, like I said, the Parks and Recs, EMA director, all that stuff right there is, it needs to be taken out of there right there is, and pass a budget where they can get some more and get more benefits out of it, instead of taking money out of their pockets.
And it seems like every time the landfill money's brought up, that's like a taboo thing.
You can't spend money you don't have.
I know you can't spend money you don't have, but you can also answer questions honestly about it. Like, there was the meeting the other night about the permit. Nobody knew about that, but that's okay, it got passed, just FYI. I talked to TDEC. So unless anything else comes up, as of the 28th, they'll have their permit in their hand.
Should we have $10 million?
So, you know, and the thing is, if we were spending out millions of dollars last year because we were taking our trash to Manchester, which we're not doing anymore, then that money should be floating around somewhere.
We were funding that with the PPP money that we had.
Okay.
Things just don't add up. It's too much of this buddy-buddy situation, or I scratch your back, you scratch my back. Man, everybody does the right thing, and it's over with, done with. But no, we can't do it. We're too divided. Us 14 are too divided. And at this point right here, no, we're not gonna pass the budget right there. This is my suggestion, right? I mean, this is my comment right here, it's comptroller. I hear everybody say comptroller. If we're doing everything the right way, we ain't got nothing to hide. Let them come in here and do what they need to do.
Yeah, you know what they're gonna do first? They're gonna cut out volunteer fire.
Hey, I'm fine with that.
Non-profits.
I'm fine with that.
Cut out.
So Commissioner
They're
Brewington,
gonna kill it for everybody else.
would you make a motion to pass $1.42 without the Parks and Rec and without the EMA? That's what you want, that's what you said, that'll bring a half a penny off?
No, I'm not talking about cutting it out. I'm talking about leaving Parks and Recs right there part-time and EMA part-time. Leave it just like it is. Neither one of them needs to be.
We don't have a part-time Parks and Rec right
Well, I'm
now.
just saying, I'd rather see a part-time Parks and Rec than a full-time.
So you want to make a motion to leave EMA part-time and Parks and Rec part-time?
Now, I can see where this road's going down. Now, I'm crazy, but I ain't that crazy.
Don't do it.
Don't say they talk, but then they can't come through. It's a moving target. You can't.
Okay, I'll entertain recognition from the audience members at this time. Yes, ma'am.
Why don't you take all that longevity crap out and divide it up amongst the police and the EMA? That would be logical. You don't need this longevity thing. If people are happy with their job, they're going to stay. If they're not, let them leave. There's so many people out there that want to work.
You just said all of us.
All right, address the commission. Point of order, please. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Motion, by a second. All in favor?